Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. I'm Sarah. I'm married to Mark, and we have 8 kids if you haven't been here before. And we love to host people. There's lots of passages in the Bible that talk about hospitality and being together with other believers and those types of things. So I made a video the other day of some tips because we were having someone over. And then yesterday I decided I would film a video while I was prepping things and let you just do a chatty video while I was doing it. Well, as I was moving you from one place to another because I was preparing food, I had to move you to another place in the kitchen, I turned the video off. And so the clip that I got makes no sense without the rest of the video. So I'm going to share in a couple different videos here things I do to prepare my house for having people over, and then the aftermath of having people over. So first starts even before you invite someone to your house, and that is to mentally and spiritually prepare for having people to your house. Reading the passages in the Bible that talk about being with other people. And I know that there are a lot of people that are not as extroverted as I am. I am refreshed by being with people. I would have people over every day of the week if I could, but that's not how everyone in my family is. So this isn't just because I'm an extroverted person that I'm saying these things. Because the people in my house who are more introverted, they definitely know how important it is to have Christian friends and to host people, to be hospitable to people, because it's not just about having Christian friends and being with them at church and things like that, but actually hospitality, sharing what you have with them. So preparing your heart and mind before people come to your house, remembering that the things in your home and the things in your home, like the items, the food that you have, and the time that you have is all given to you by God. And it's not given to you by God to hoard. It's given to you by God to use for His glory. And for each person, that's going to look a little bit differently. But I think, especially in American culture, we very much collect things to ourselves and we don't share those to glorify God. There are things in my home that would be easier to put up on a shelf and never use, but God doesn't give me things to never use. And I'm not talking about that, one piece of pottery you have that your grandmother made back in the day. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying the good dishes. And you'll hear me say in another video, I use paper plates when people come because I don't have enough dishes for everybody, but we tend to, on Thanksgiving, we will get out the good dishes and everything. Are the people that you're spending time with on a daily basis, your family, worth the good dishes? And are the people you're having over to your house worth the good dishes? And I understand with toddlers, give them a plastic plate, that type of thing. But we're not meant to just hold things. We're meant to use things. God gives us things to use. If we're not going to use them, we can get them out of our house. But if we have them, we should be using them. So looking at the things God has given you as a way to share His love with people around you. That includes your time. God has given us all 24 hours in a day, and we have different ways that we can manage that. I have more people outside, so if you hear them. God has given us ways to manage that. But we tend to seclude ourselves. Once your husband gets home from work, right now Mark does not work, but he worked lots of times during our marriage, so I understand where I'm coming from here. But you don't want to just seclude that time and just use it for your family. You want to actually be able to glorify God with it. And so not spreading yourself too thin, but finding ways that you can enter hospitality into your week. So just making sure that you know what God wants you to do with your possessions, your time, your money, resources, all of that stuff. Also, what are you going to do? When you have people over, do you have a plan of how to glorify God with that time? So when we have people over, a lot of times we will have specific questions we want to ask them or specific topics we want to talk about. Like we have a family coming tonight and we were like, hey, after supper, we should get out the hymn books because they really like to sing. We like to sing. Let's do a hymn sing. It can very easily, whether you're going to church or having people in your home, it can very easily turn into we talk about the weather, we talk about sports, we talk about work, and never get to anything meaningful. And these don't have to be deep theological discussions. Like we were reading 1 Peter today as a family, and questions came up about the angels in heaven and the fallen angels, and that's a deep question. And that might not be something you want to get together with your guests and talk about. It might be, depending on who you have over for a guest. But I'm thinking more like we had a couple and their adult daughter who lives with them over a while ago. And I was asking questions like, what is your favorite missionary to learn about, read about? Have you read any good books recently that have helped you in your Christian walk? What is your favorite Bible verse? What is your favorite hymn? There's a lot of different things you could ask for this. Have you had a spiritual mentor in your life that has really influenced you? And can you tell us about that? There's so many questions you can ask to bring up a biblical conversation. And you could ask like a lot of questions of your guest, or you could go around the room and everybody share. Like, what is your favorite Bible story? We do this one a lot if we have people with kids over. What is your favorite Bible story? Because the kids can join in and they can be like, oh, I really like Noah. Oh, what do you like about Noah? Where if you ask something like, who's your favorite missionary? Maybe they're not, depending on the family. Like we read a lot of missionary stories, but another family might not read as many missionary stories. So that, just having something to talk about that brings the conversation to that understanding. Also, having a schedule within your home, a routine within your home that allows you to have guests in your house. So sometimes that is like getting things in place for your family. If you hear a ding dong bell keep going off, no, it's fine. I'm just saying we were asked to review a product that is like, if you get within it's like if you're out camping and someone gets too close to your tent, it would go off. So the kids are trying to see where it is. So that's what they're doing in the background. So having a routine that allows you to have people into your home. Maybe that means decluttering a certain room of your house and having that be where you have guests. I'm going to make another video about what to do the day before or the day of having guests over. So I'll talk about that a little more, but just having a place in general that you feel comfortable to sit down and relax with a guest. That might be your dining room table. That might be your living room. I don't know. If you live in a place that doesn't have room, especially if you are a small family or just a young couple that would like to spend time with a large family like ours, invite them to come over to hang out in your yard. Invite them to meet you at a park and bring snacks. You can be hospitable outside of your own home. Maybe we've done this before, asked if at church we were allowed to stay after and do a picnic, because some churches like lock up and everything, so you just have to know, like, is it okay if we stay and lock up the building when we're done? But just see if you can host them somewhere else besides your home, because there are very great wisdom to learn from older, more experienced people. I would say I'm kind of in the older Titus 2 woman category, and I'm still kind of in the younger one because I still have a 2-year-old and he's acting very 2 recently, and there's still things I need to learn. So I'm not trying to say I have all the answers. I have a lot of experience and I will share what has worked from that experience, but I do not have all the answers. But seeing if there's a way you can be hospitable to people outside of your home. So I guess those are things to do to prepare yourself to have people in your home. Remember that it's a biblical mandate to be hospitable to other people. And remember that God has given you everything that you have to glorify Him. And how are you going to do that in your daily life? We will talk to you next time about how to prepare your home for actually having the guests in. See you next time. Bye.